our decisions really should be based upon biblical principle. It should. Are we doing that? That's for you to answer. But I'm saying our decisions should be based on biblical principle, not earthly emotion, not earthly fallacies, not earthly intentions. It should have a biblical perspective on the decisions that we're making daily. And I want to challenge you to make sure that is what you are doing. Make sure that you are utilizing biblical principle in your life, whether it's on your job, outside of your job, with your family, in your daily endeavors. Make sure that biblical principle is the standard for those that say that they love God. And with that being said, the scriptures in Hebrews 5, 11 and 12, it says, we have a great deal to say about this, and it is difficult to explain since you have become too lazy to understand. Although by this time you ought to be teachers, you need someone to teach you the basic principles of God's revelation again. You need milk, not solid food. The writer here is emphasizing the value of growth and where we should be as men and women of God. Is stressing the importance of advancing, of the importance of growth, not staying where we are. I like the New Living Translation of that verse 11 and 12. It says, there is much more I would like to say to you about this, but it is difficult to explain, especially since you are spiritually dull and don't seem to listen. Wow. That's, he says, since you are spiritually dull and don't seem to listen, people of God, let us not walk in that category. Okay? Let us not walk in that category to where we're not listening. We're spiritually dull. We're at a place to where we can't hear. We're at a place to where we can't grow. We're at a place to where we don't desire more of God. Because this is what was happening, and the writer is writing to the Hebrews, the Hebrew believers, the people that were at this particular time, getting lost in the sauce, getting lost in worldly endeavors. And when you get lost in worldly endeavors, there is a spiritual decline that happens in your life. And what we don't want to do is to decline. We want to be on the incline. In other words, we want to be growing. The scriptures